Welcome to Just Minding My Business Media, where you get information that you can use. I'm your host, Ida Crawford. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Just Minding My Business on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Share us with your family, friends, and colleagues. Engage with us by leaving a review or comment because your support keeps this podcast going and growing. Also, visit our website at jmmbmediallc.com to learn how we can support you in getting more visibility on your products and services. So grab a pen and paper and get ready for information that you can use. I am so excited to bring to Just Minding My Business Media today Frederick Cary, who is a powerhouse entrepreneur and the CEO of IdeaPros, a company that guides qualified entrepreneurs through the complexities and pitfalls of the startup world. With this entrepreneur spirit, Fred started many businesses in different industries, created many successes, and acquired thousands of lessons along the way. His desire to give back to a community of like minded eccentrics led him to create Ideal Pros, the world's first super venture partner, a company that could roll up its experienced sleeves and provide every entrepreneur with the opportunity to see their vision become a real company with a real product. He also produces a weekly show for entrepreneurs that has been viewed by over 4 million people. As a top 1% business professional, who's who in America, and top ranked attorney for several years, Brad's personal brand can be best described as capital F, asterisk, capital C, capital K, average, B, legendary. Well, welcome. Can I call you Fred?
Thank you. Yes, it's a privilege to be here, and please do call me Fred as long as I can call you Ida.
Yes, absolutely. Wow. I am so excited to have you, Fred. So tell us about Ideal Pros.
Yeah, so I started IdeaPros over 5 years ago. Is hopefully my last adventure. Before that, I started 10 different companies and had a very good track record, including bringing a couple of them public and having a couple of others acquired by public companies. And the reason I started IdeaPros is I looked at the data, and 95% of us entrepreneurs are what I call outsiders. We're coming in from corporate America. We're not the 22-year-old that went to Harvard and dropped out of business school and got $10 million for a vague idea on a napkin. We're hardworking, industrious people that are not really happy in corporate America and want to strike our own way
Mhm.
and don't have the facilities, the understanding, the support to really make that happen. And so we fail at enormous rates. So I created IdeaPros to help that 95% of entrepreneurs that really need the system support and really a co-founder.
Yes, yes. Okay, so give us some of the little intricates. So when people come to you for your support, what do you provide in terms of tangible things?
Um, People usually come to us at the idea stage,
Okay.
and we provide everything else from the idea to nationwide launch. So
Wow.
literally every single thing that any entrepreneur needs to do to start a business, we do. And in exchange, they pay us a fee up front, which is probably 25% of what it would cost them to do it on their own. And they give us a percentage, a minority percentage in the new company that we're going to form together. But literally everything that you could imagine, from research to website development to app development to engineering to positioning strategy, go to market plan, um, pitch decks, literally everything to a nationwide launch, including setting up your social media and training you as an entrepreneur throughout the whole process.
Yes. And what does that training look like? Because like you said, we coming out of corporate America. We know how to do the 9 to 5. We don't know how to do the business.
Yeah, well, training an entrepreneur starts with pain, probably like training a professional fighter or something. You know that you're going to go in the ring and it's going to hurt. And so when we get people in here, the very first thing that we tell them is that it's not going to be easy, and we're not going to do it right the first time. It's going to take longer. It's going to cost more. The first launch is not going to look anything like what you expected, but that's entrepreneurship. Get out there, get people using your product, and basically fail fast and build around that.
Hmm. Yes. Yes, because I think some people come out of the corporate world thinking, okay, I got this great product and idea, and they think it's going to be quick and easy.
Yeah,
And it is so far from that.
yeah. You definitely have to be comfortable with pain and failure.
Yes, indeed, for sure. So, what types of companies have you helped build? What industries?
We have about 400 companies so far. We've had 100,000 applications, and the companies are all over the board. They're mostly consumer related, either product companies or apps. We have over 120 apps that in almost every sector you could imagine. And there are some occasions where it's a B2B product, but for the most part, we're looking at B2C type companies.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Wow. I'm just floored right now because so many people need what you have.
Yeah.
What about the mindset around it? Because, like we just said, it's painful. So how do you help that business owner prepare their mindset for the journey?
One thing I find is that we all feel that it's almost like an imposter syndrome, right? We feel that we don't deserve it. Everybody else deserves this. We don't get the fair shake. And when we hit that first bump in the road, we go, see, I told myself so, and we stop. And
Yes.
the thing that we train them is that you're just learning how to do it better. If there's a failure point, a stress point, doing it again a different way makes you end up having a better product at the end. And so when I get them comfortable with the fact that all over America there are millions of people at 3 a.m. awake, staring at their ceiling in tears, wondering why the hell they decided to do this. It's not just you, all of us go through that. Then that's the comfort level that they need to be able to handle the pain and therefore get to the growth stage where they can be successful.
Yes, yes. And I think that's what you hit it on the nail, being able to get outside your comfort zone, number one, be prepared for the blows
Yep.
because they're going to come.
Yep.
And, just sticking to your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? W-
Exactly.
just sticking to your why and failing forward. And, when I first heard that term, I was like, I kind of laughed because it was like failing forward. But today, I definitely get it.
That's great.
Crystal clear, crystal clear. So if people want to work with you, how do they connect with you?
Yeah, I think for any entrepreneur, even if you're thinking about becoming one, you can just go to ideapros.com. And the very first thing you see there is free membership. You sign up for the free membership, and we'll provide you weekly content that is compelling and informative. And we also do a couple times a month, we do workshops, couple-hour workshops that are live, that are absolutely free. Get your feet wet there and do that. If you feel like you want to have one of our paid programs, then you can just write to us. There's an application page. You can even write to Fred at ideapros.com, and I can help lead you in the right way. And aside from that, on Instagram, I have a page, official Fred Cary, Cary. I have over 500,000 followers on there, and I provide 1 minute of information every day that hopefully will guide you along your way and make today better than yesterday was.
Yes. Oh, wow. What a blessing you are, Fred. Because I'm telling you, when I first got into the business arena, we had none of this. It wasn't no internet. It was the yellow pages and the newspaper.
You're talking my language, Ida.
You make me think about a time I put an ad in the newspaper and it was so tiny I couldn't even find it. Somebody found it and came to my office and they had to show me where the ad was because
Oh my
I
goodness,
couldn't even find it.
that's crazy.
It was so funny, So now we have evolved to this place where, information is readily available if you're willing to say yes to it, for sure.
Yep.
And, people all over the world, we can connect in different ways to be able to learn and grow. So your company is definitely needed because that way we can cut this 95% failure rate.
Yeah, cut that thing way down.
Yes, because we need them. This country was built on they called them what, cottage businesses.
Yeah,
Every home had a business. If somebody was selling eggs, somebody up the street was selling milk. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm thinking, we need to get back to that.
No, absolutely, absolutely agree. And the unfortunate thing is the number one failure point for entrepreneurial businesses. The first year failure point is because the founder created something there's no demand for, which is
Mm,
shocking because that means you didn't do your homework. You didn't figure out what you needed to do, how to position yourself in the marketplace to find out the part of the playground that you can safely play in. We don't do any of that stuff, and that's why training is so fundamentally important when you're going out on your own. You don't have your support system. You don't have a crew to help you figure things out. That's why it's so important to do all your homework and make sure that the road you're going down is a road that's paved, not a road that you're going to end up going up the side of a cliff on.
yes. And, a lot of people say go with your passion, but sometimes whatever you're passionate about may not have a market.
Sure.
So I guess you got to be careful there, because you might love it, but how many other people do?
Exactly. And again, that's why we have that big failure point because God, this is amazing. My mom thinks it's great. If my mom loves it, it's got to be a great idea. And moms have sunk many ships on the entrepreneurial seas.
So when you have people now that we on that come with the passion and they are just so gun ho that their passion is going to work, how do you steer them?
Thing is that this all starts with passion, and the only way it will continue to grow is through passion. But you have to be intelligent on top of the passion. You just can't have the desire. I want to be a prize fighter. Well, I better train really, really hard. I better be in great shape. I better really practice boxing. I need to know my opponent every time I step into the ring. Otherwise, I'm going to get crushed.
Mm.
And we need to take the passion that we have for our entrepreneurial fighting in our entrepreneurial ring, and we need to put information around our passion. Our passion will keep us going, but our intellect and our research and our strategies will keep us going in the right direction. And
Hmm.
so that's why you have to feed your passion with education.
Yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly. So if somebody comes to you and you do your homework, you check out what it is they're trying to do, and you find that there's not a real market for it, how do you help them to, if they really want to be an entrepreneur, how do you help them to switch gears?
The reality is that most entrepreneurs, I think the statistics are 2.5 businesses before they find their success. And so somebody that just really wants to be an entrepreneur, but just comes to us with an idea that, excuse me, an idea that's really not doable. then put them back to the roots. What you were talking about earlier about finding something you're really passionate about. I try to give them a twofer. Find something you're really passionate about and find a way to make money from it. And then when you get those two things figured out, now we can roll into another business. But find those things. That way, you're never going to be really working a day in your life, right? If you find a way to monetize something you'd love to do for free. So that's kind of the way we try to lead them. And many times we can lead them down the same path. Why did you pick this market? Why did you pick this product? Well, I've seen this market is really growing and they need things. Well, let's study the market further and see if they need something else. Because maybe you found the right spot, but you don't have the right offering for them. So that happens often.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Do you work with coaches? Because in my profession, I run across hundreds and thousands of coaches. Do you work with coaches?
Well, I can work with them as far as assigning people over to them, taking referrals from coaches. I don't have a specific program that I do that in, but I have had many coaches like come to me when they wanted to put some meat on the bones, if you will. And coaching kind of gives you advice and leads you in the right direction. We actually become your co-founder and take that journey with you and provide all the resources to make it happen, as well as the connections at the end. If I make a phone call to several different venture capital firms and you're my partner, you're going to get in front of them and have a meeting. For the most part, that's just not going to happen if you cold call somebody. So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I will work with coaches in many different ways.
Okay. Wow, this is definitely something to think about, really something to think about because most of us start a business, it's a vision, you by yourself,
Yeah,
and you don't have nobody knows who you are but you.
yep,
And getting out there and building your brand and getting noticed and getting your product out, that's really the hardest part. Sometimes you gotta hit the pavement on a regular basis, getting to so people can know who you are. So when you go into rooms, people know you already.
yeah, and the other factor is that no matter what business you want to go into, even some regional business, and not everybody wants to have a global industry, but whatever you go into, if you want to really increase your chances, you need to find a different way to approach that problem. You need to find, as you said, people don't know who you are. You need to find a way to stand out. Wow, this
Mhm.
person's doing the same thing these other 10 companies are doing, but they're doing it in a completely different way, in a new way, more streamlined, more effective way. So whatever you're going to go into, find a way to differentiate yourself and your business. And it could be, wow, well, this business area is crowded. There's 10 firms in my area that are doing things like this. Find a better way, find a different way,
Mhm.
find something that's going to be refreshing, compelling, and memorable. And that's how you become known really fast.
Yes. Now your show, can you tell us about that a little bit?
Well, I have a couple different things. Number one, as I said, Instagram. Uh, that every day I put something on there, and then once a week on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube at noon Pacific on Fridays. I have a half an hour show that digs deeper into different entrepreneurial things you want to know about marketing, raising capital, operations, and understanding cash flow. It's just a deeper dive into every element of what it takes to grow a business and keep it going successfully.
Okay. And what's the name of the show?
It has no name. We're the show without a name. It's just on, you go to Facebook and go to Idea Pros page or
Okay.
same thing with YouTube. Go to Idea Pros and you'll see every Friday at noon Pacific.
Okay. I will definitely be looking for that. So definitely make sure I have those handles so people I can send people over because everybody is hungry. for
Yeah.
information
Yep.
on business strategies and how-tos and you name it.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure. So again, if people want to work with your company, how do they connect with you?
Um, if you want to work and you want to go all in and you have a you want to have a co-founder and you're ready to have a nationwide launch for your new business, then you can just write to me, fred@ideapros.com. Otherwise, you go online, start at ideapros.com, start with our free membership. And in a free membership, you're going to be assigned somebody that will work with you and advise you. And if you ever want to go above free, like for example, we have programs that'll do all this kind of strategic development for you for a couple of $1,000s. It really lays out everything that you need to do as a business, how to differentiate yourself, how to avoid the heavy hand of the competition, how to really endear your audience to you, to all the way through what should be in your pitch deck and how to raise capital. From that to literally anything, how to position yourself as a good storyteller for your product offering, literally anything that you could want to know as an entrepreneur, we have in there. So start with free membership at ideapros.com.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Fred, for taking time out of your day to meet with us because this is so critical, with the number of businesses getting started either through being sick and tired of being sick and tired of corporate America or just finding themselves in a place where they was forced out of corporate America.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time.
Yes, it does. And having someone or company that can hold your hand, so to speak, and help you get through the ups and downs of entrepreneurship is huge.
It is, and it's a neglected area. You know, all the money is going towards the 5% of the elite. They're coming out of Harvard Business School. They have professors that can call venture capital companies, get a bunch of money for a vague idea, and the rest of us don't have any support system. You know, we don't. They're not. There's no companies out there that are really saying, "Hey, I'll be your co-founder. I know you're an outsider. Come in. Let's make you an insider." And we have all the tactics, the tools, the strategies, and the connections to make it all real.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Fred, and thank you, audience, for tuning in. And I hope you got these some gems out of here because Fred was dropping them hard. He- So you all have a wonderful day and thank you.